Where do you want to go?
Dan, to quote the wise prophet Forrest Gump.
Oh.
South Carolina is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Weird to use Forrest Gump as an intro to an SEC team and not have it be Bama. But that's what keeps you unpredictable.
This is what we do here. We zag when you
Also, I was very worried because Alabama is not scheduled to be one of the teams on today's episodes.
They aren't.
No.
They aren't.
By the
I
way,
was hoping you'd have that reaction.
Now that we're past Georgia and Texas, we only really have, and Vandy, I guess, but Vandy I think is included in what I'm trying to say right now. After Tennessee, the rest of the teams we're discussing, now with South Carolina, are all, man, I hope the offense is something. Yeah. I hope the offense can do something this year. And maybe you could say that about Vandy, but at least Vandy has last year's track record, despite a different quarterback. But South Carolina, Kentucky, Florida, Oklahoma, who am I missing?
I
guess that's it, right? South Carolina, Vandy, Oklahoma, Florida. Left a lot of mouths hungry.
Last year was a huge disappointment for South Carolina.
Yeah.
It was a huge disappointment because there was hype going into the year. We talked it up when we did our previews. They end up going 4-8, despite bringing back, I think, an exciting core of players. There's also a lot back this year. They are 5th nationally in returning production. They bring back LaNorris, the creator, Nyck Harbor, and Dylan
Number
Stewart.
1 on Bruce Feldman's Freaks List 2026. I don't know if you perused yet.
I jotted down a few other ones in here, yeah.
Yeah.
Nyck Harbor, man. South Carolina has headliners. They do. But it is ever the question of, well, what else do they got? You know, what else do they got here? Shane Beamer, to his credit, I think to everybody's credit who watched South Carolina, recognized that the offense needed to improve. So found a way to hold on to LaNorris, the creator, which was a big deal. Still, all the tools to become a first-round prospect, whether he gets there or not, conversation for another day. But he needs a better offense around him. Like, if they want to get back to 9-4 like they were 2 years ago, it needs to be better rounded than what we saw a year ago. So Shane Beamer goes out there. He fires Mike Shula. He hired Kendal Briles from TCU. I love reading the scouting reports and digging into what schemes or what ideas the new coordinators have to try and fix the problem. Do you do that? Do you have that like hobby like I do?
Of course.
From a collection of different sources, here is what I've been able to ascertain about Kendal Briles. His offense this year is described as playing with tempo, with RPOs, vertical shots, the quarterback running game, shifts, motions, huddling, and formation variations, Dan.
Shifts and motions is borderline strength coach is wondering what they were doing around here before. The new strength coach. Yeah.
That's basically everything you could do as an offensive coordinator.
We're going to be multiple. We're going to attack. A lot of shifts and motions. We're going to take some shots.
I didn't see triple option in there, but I did see quarterback run. I did see RPO, so maybe we can count it.
Right. I agree.
To do all that, they need a line. And here is where we get into the nitty-gritty with South Carolina, isn't it? I feel like we've had this question every damn year. Every year I've had a question about the South Carolina line. Again, like in years past, I'm curious to see what it looks like. They brought in 8 transfers. On the whole, it's a much more veteran group than I think they've had in a while. There will be a lot new up front, but new in the sense that they're playing for South Carolina this year. These are guys with experience, so I don't quite have the same level of concern that I've had in the past, where they're just throwing like new guys at the problem. The voodoo here will be getting them all to play in unison, though, because it's a bunch of guys from other places. It's definitely a new collection. Hopefully they can open up some kind of a running game to provide more balance for this offense, because it is just not going to work if it's going to be all on the arm and legs of LaNorris Sellers. He's a big dude. He can run. He can take a beating. He has taken a beating. But if they want this thing to fly, we need balance, Dan. It can't just be one dude and Nyck Harbor running streaks every play.
It appears that LaNorris Sellers, I don't know LaNorris Sellers. I don't know how well you personally know LaNorris Sellers.
Personally?
Personally.
Well, I mean,
from afar.
He was in my wedding.
That's true. Rabbi LaNorris
right.
officiated your wedding. He seems from afar to be like of high character.
Yes.
To be like a good, loyal dude.
Yep.
That he has stuck with South Carolina, that he has established his reputation as a super talented quarterback at South Carolina, has been the leader there for a while now. After what they put on the field on offense, especially in front of him and what he dealt with, I think South Carolina they were last in the country in yards per carry before contact.
Yes.
As in, like, the front seven of every team hit him and running backs attempting to run quicker than anybody else in the country.
A little bit like calling the right play on defense in Tecmo Bowl.
Totally true. Right? Where it's just get the auto blitz.
Just like a jailbreak, yeah.
I always like when quarterbacks stick it out and try to improve things where they've been and where they've been leaders. I would not have blamed LaNorris Sellers for looking around last year, given what his season was on offense, because of the line, because of the play calling. Like, Shane Beamer has kind of quietly hired 3 straight disappointing offensive coordinators, Marcus Satterfield, Dole Loggins, and now Mike Shula trying again. This is Kendal Briles in not that many years, trying to fix things. Like, I would not have blamed LaNorris Sellers for, like, answering Indiana's call or Texas Tech's call or something like that. Somebody who is just like a quarterback away and in a better situation in terms of guys around him. But to his credit, he wants to win in Columbia. So I tip my cap to him. But it's hard to look at this year's version. And I think it's of quality. I don't think it's especially deep. And they seem to be what's Jacarius Peak, the NC State transfer who's beat up. But, you know, there's hope that he is in an okay position sooner rather than later to play for the South Carolina team. I don't love where they are at running back or receiver. I think Nyck Harbor is like a crazy athletic talent. I don't think he's proven to be like a complete receiver and a dependable receiver in different phases of that game of being a receiver. I think the secondary could be quite strong. I think there's a lot to like on this defense, especially if Dylan Stewart's back is somewhere near healthy after it seems like it's been catastrophically bad. But they're just up against what feels like a very familiar problem. And so if Kendal Briles can hide this offensive line or maximize what they are and mask what they aren't, okay, maybe we got a stew going. But short of that, I'm still not enamored with South Carolina. And they're going to keep developing NFL dudes in the secondary. This year it's Vakari Swain is like the star back there.
Yep.
He's awesome.
Yeah. He was great last year. Was returning kicks.
He was terrific.
Yeah.
But they lose some of their playmakers. Like, I always have a soft spot for South Carolina. I love watching games, South Carolina home games. I think there's just an electricity there.
Stadium shakes. The stadium shakes. Yeah, it's great.
I just think they're maxing out at like a 7-5 year with just too many questions on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I mean, to the point on Dylan Stewart, Shane Beamer said he played through a broken back last year.
Ridiculous.
Seems painful. He did miss the spring.
Yeah.
The most recent reporting I saw is that there's optimism he'll be 100% and ready to go for the season. I'm fairly confident he'll be out there. He played through a damn broken back. So I think he'll be okay. Obviously, his status is of utmost importance because they're a little weaker in the back this year because of some of those losses that you mentioned, and they're going to need a pass rush.
Yeah.
His pass rush wasn't where I think it can be last season. That might have had something to do with the injury.
Right.
So we need him back 100% if South Carolina is going to get to, you know, whatever their high watermark looks like on defense. They have some runway to figure it out, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
It is workable early on the schedule, but it always seems like they get killed at the tough schedule. And this year it's really no different. After the runway, on the schedule, they've got Bama, Florida, Oklahoma, Clemson, all those games, all 4 of them, by the way, on the road. They also play Tennessee. They've got A&M. They've got Georgia. So it is not easy. It's never easy. But I'm with you. I would love to go a little bit higher on Carolina, but I still have not seen the proof that it's going to be a well-rounded team that gives LaNorris a little bit more of a support net. I'm going to say 7-5.
Okay. But here's the thing, though. And I noticed this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you disagree. I don't know. If LaNorris Sellers continues to be LaNorris Sellers, a.k.a. the creator, and the offensive line is maybe even just below average, somewhere like, it's the 73rd best offensive line in America, something like that. Nyck Harbor takes the next step. Obviously, a deep threat, and whoever else they're gonna, was it Nitro Tuggle is who they're counting on for something at receiver. It is Nitro Tuggle, right? Yes. I have a lot of names swirling around my vaguely empty brain. If you look at this schedule, and we do see the quarterback upside that we expect, and things improve, does South Carolina have a quarterback advantage in maybe 11 of 12 weeks?
Possibly.
Depending on which, I guess you think of Marcel Reed, which I think we're both pretty high on Marcel Reed, but I think LaNorris Sellers is more proven at this point of his career. Yeah. Look at that schedule.
Yeah. I'm looking
they have the quarterback advantage. I mean, we'll see what Keelan Russell is at Alabama if he's the guy. We'll see who, it's Tramel Jones or Aaron Philo at Florida. We'll see if it's Faison Brandon at Tennessee. I think John Mateer is fine, but LaNorris Sellers is better. Gunnar Stockton is the one where you'd be like, yeah, I think he might be better at his best. But that's encouraging if you're a South Carolina fan to have that kind of advantage, but you could have said that probably last season, a number of those games.
Where I thought you were going with it is if we see marginal improvement like you described.
Yeah.
They're probably knocking off one of these teams.
I agree.
There's an upset or two in here if they take just a marginal step forward and build a little bit more of a net around LaNorris.
Well, that's also like when I put down, I'd say led by, must improve, outlook, whatever. They just got to finish games. Look at what happened against Texas A&M last year. You look at what happened against Bama last year. I know Shane Beamer was like quick to like throw that side conversation away on media days. But like 4 quarters of football, it's a different outlook to last year's season. Finishing off A&M after that great first half and intercepting Marcel Reed and having that opportunity late against Alabama. It's a different conversation. We're still worried about the offensive line, but those are quality wins, obviously. Those are playoff wins. You can build on that. Thanks for watching, and thank you for at least considering subscribing to the channel. It means a ton.